Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madden. Moving on to our video. Yeah, so right now you're looking at a woman at the top. Yeah, man. They call her Nikki Black, you know. And she is a resident here in Broward County. And guess what? This woman is living in America for almost 4 decades. And she don't have no papers. None. Yeah, so you know that you're going to see the mugshot later on in the video. And she, was report her son. She had a son who petitioned for file, I-130 and adjustment of status for her. So she was on pretty much parole, so she had to report to her probation officer, one of the federal employee. Eventually, all of them think that Donald Trump had got the system. So when she report, they grab onto her and put her in a detention for deportation. So she's supposed to be deported to Jamaica. So Nikki Black decided now to inform about squash illegal activities. And she told Uncle Tom that she told Uncle Sam she was moving things for the fat guy. Yeah, man, that's the guy at the bottom. So we actually all the way hear them tell us the inform of it dead, and you send them ass in a voice. I tell you all the time. They're my biggest informer. She sing like a Kenny or a bird. So the fall of Broward County kingpin, Nikki Black's, whose current name Nicola Sophia Brown Modest. So ladies and gentlemen, gather around because today we are diving into the tragic comedy of one of South Florida's most influential entrepreneurs. Well, if you consider slinging illicit goods and entrepreneurial endeavors, meet Nicola Sophia Brown Modest, better known in the streets of Broward County and West Palm Beach County and Palm Beach County as Nikki Black's, the woman who could allegedly get you anything you wanted as long as you didn't ask too many questions. From the sunny avenues of Fort Lauderdale to the dark corners of Miami-Dade. If you whisper Nikki Black's 3 times in the mirror, chances are a delivery would mysteriously appear at your door faster than an Amazon Prime package. Need a little party favor? Nikki had it. Looking for something to keep the street talking? Nikki would make it happen. You wanted to touch the sky without a Delta airline ticket? Nikki had your cover. But alas, even the most resourceful hustlers eventually run out of luck. And Nikki's American dream has turned into an ice-cold nightmare. After nearly 4 decades living in the land of the free, unless you forget to legalize your status, she had found herself detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, awaiting deportation back to Jamaica. That's right. After all these years, Uncle Sam had finally reserved to the party, and he's bringing a one-way ticket to Norman Manley International Airport. No papers, no party. Now let's pause and process this. 4 decades in the US, and still no papers, not a green card, not a work permit, not even forged permanent residency. Letters from one of those Bacali immigration fixers. Sis was out here moving weight, but couldn't get a single piece of legal documentation. Apparently, her son, who must have inherited his mother's legendary get things done spirit, filed for her to get a green card. But here's the twist, it's never arrived. When you ask, well, just let's say Uncle Sam did his homework and stumble upon an interesting piece of history. A case from 2020 in Broward County, and let's be real, if ICE looking at your name and see even a parking ticket, they'd start acting like Sherlock Holmes with a vengeance. And now, the US government is treating her like an overdue library book. They want to return it to sender, right back to Jamaica. Now, the irony in all of this, after decades of allegedly supplying the streets in Broward with all the necessities to keep the parties going, the only thing Nikki can't seem to secure is a way to stay in the country. The same system she allegedly helped fuel is now pushing her out faster than an overbooked Spirit Airline flight. And let's not forget, the cherry on top, Nikki's Black is currently locked up by ICE, meaning she went from the plug to the unplug, from supplier to detainee, from living in a South Florida mansion to possibly checking into a humble board in Kingston 13. Rumor has it that if you visit her in detention, she might be still able to get you whatever you need. But this time it's just commissary snacks and some ramen noodle. Oh, and all the mighty are falling. So but wait, before we put a final nail in the coffin of our American dream, there is a one little twist in the story that makes it even spicier. And for that, you will have to stay tuned, because the story is just getting started. From the kingpin to choir girl, Nikki Black sings like a Kenny Harry in ICE custody. Ah, sweet irony of the streets. You see, in the underworld, there are 3 golden rules that every self-proclaimed gangster will preach louder than Sunday morning. Never trust the police, never snitch, and most importantly, never ever snitch. But folks, let me introduce you to the walking contradiction that is Nicola Sophia Brown Modest, better known as Nikki Blacks, the former alleged supplier of anything and everything in Broward County. Once upon a time. Yeah, so as we tell you about Nikki Blacks, she was the go-getter for anything what you want in South Florida. She get it for you. Whether it's for your party, for your dance, anything. If you want a ticket for go to a show, if you want all of airline, she have contacts to get anything. So she is the former alleged supplier of anything and everything in the Broward County. Yeah man, she was the go-to plug for all your illicit needs. The woman with more connections than the telecommunications company. But now, she's in ICE custody, flipping like pancake on Sunday morning brunch menu. You see, almost 4 decades in America without so much as a green card to show for it, Nikki Black has traded her in her silence for a front row seat at the Witness Protection Choir. And trust me, she's hitting high notes like Mariah Carey Christmas special. Informer must die until their turn. Now, the funniest part of this, if you had asked Nikki Blacks a year ago about snitching, she would probably give you the standard gang-like response. Informer for dead. Oh, how things change when, with feds put pressure on you. And all of a sudden, the same people who once were dead before the Sana are harmonizing like a church choir on Easter Sunday. And guess who's the first name she's throwing under the bus? Yeah, drum roll, please. Yeah, we don't have that over here, sir. Andrea Whitaker, a.k.a. Squash 6 Bars. That's right. Jamaica's very own dancehall badman turned entrepreneur, is now the star of Nikki Black's greatest hit album, Confessions from an ICE Detention Center, The Ballad of Squash 6, and The Immigration Blues. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Squash 6, boss, let's break it down real quick. He's a dancehall artist who, like many before him, has dabbled in a little extracurricular business outside the music industry. You know, the business of the kind of business you get, you mention in seal indictment and DEA reports. And according to Nikki Black's new and improved testimony package, she wasn't just in business with Squash, she was moving weight for him. Oh yes, she's not just whispering his name, she's putting his whole operation on blast like a reggae sound clash. Yes, Mr. Agent, I did business with Squash. Yes, he moves drugs. Yes, I'll testify. Listen, if Squash 6 fast thought he was dodging the long arm of the law, he might want to start brushing up on U.S. federal sentencing guideline, because his name is now on ICE priority list. In fact, don't be surprised if the next time we hear from Squash 6 boss, it's either from the Chrome Detention Center again, awaiting deportation, or even worse, one of Donald Trump's federal prisons. And let's be real, the Trump gunning for another turn, these federal prisons are about to get a whole lot stricter. No more dancehall parties in the yard, no more luxury commissary spending. If Squash does end up behind bars, he'll be trading his Gucci loafers for government issues flip-flops. So the $1 million question now is, will Squash 6 boss dodge this bullet, or is he about to become the next Jamaican celebrity sent packing back to the Highland? Let's see, because Nikki is singing, and I tell you, she makes Squash fart. So if Nikki Black keep hitting these high notes, Squash might just wake up one morning with a one-way ticket to Montego Bay, courtesy of U.S. immigration. If ICE and the feds decide to make an example out of him, then we might see Squash next album dropping from a prison cell, featuring all his label mates from Cell Block D. Either way, this is proof that the streets loyalty is a myth. When it's their turn to face the music, every bad man suddenly transforms into a gospel singer. So let this be a lesson to all aspiring gangsters out there. Before you preach snitches get stitches, before you get ready for when your own name gets called on the witness stand. Because if Nikki Black's is any indication, it turns out informers don't actually die, they just relocate on a witness protection program. So stay tuned, because the story is only getting juicier. So we keep you up to date as to the latest with Nikki Black's and Squash 6 boss. And as we tell you before, I will say again, we burn fire upon this false here and false, everything with false, because let's face it, just look at this woman. We're not going to show any picture with apart from her with the mugshot, because we don't want, all of these things, is dishonesty. You understand? So we are continuing the journey. If you explain to you why you must not talk to women who wear false here, false this, false that, because their beauty is easily washed away. You want a natural woman. So if you ever actually see a picture of Nicola, Sophia, Brown, Modest, without looking like this, you would think that is Meghan Markle. You know, Meghan Markle, that's Prince Harry's wife, the prettiest woman on earth. When you're talking about an earth angel, that's her. So looking at this woman now, you can say the epitome of, not that, pretty. It would be just I tell you that. The great deception, Nikki Black's makeup and the magic trick of false beauty. Alright folks, let's take a moment to really observe the situation. If you ever needed proof that makeup and false hair are the greatest special effects in history, Then look no further than Nicola Sophia Brown Modest, aka Nikki Blacks. Now strip away the layers, take off the wigs, wipe off the makeups, and remove the Instagram filters. And what do you have left? A woman whose true form looks like it could haunt a police sketch artist. And this is the cold hard truth that men refuse to accept. Some of you all are falling in love with Photoshop and Maybelline, not an actual person. The case of now you see her, now you don't. See, fellas, you ever meet a woman at the club and she looks like the whole goddess? Her face is glowing like Rihanna. Fenty's beauty just cut her sponsorship check. Her hair is bouncing like she's fresh out of L'Oreal commercial, and her body is snatched to perfection. You get home, wake up the next morning, she goes to wash her face, and boom, you are in full-blown horror movie. Yes, wait, who are you? And what did you do with the woman I met last night? Gone are the curves that seems so perfect. Turned out that the work of a corset and strategic angles. Gone is the flawless kings. It was just foundation, concealer, and some industrial strength Instagram filter. Gone is long flowing hair, because it was never hers to begin with. It's like the ultimate bait and switch. You fell for one woman and woke up with the next to someone completely different. The harsh reality, false beauty, false relationships. Now let's be real. This is why so many relationships fail before they even start. A man walks into a situation thinking he found a queen, only to realize that he has been catfished in real life. He fell in love with a mirage. He was attracted to an illusion. He was seduced by a masterpiece of modern cosmetic science. And then women wonder why men get cold and distant after a few weeks. Because he's trying to figure out where the woman he met went. Relationships are supposed to build on trust and honesty. But how can we even start there when a woman's entire physical appearance is built on lies? You want a man to be real with you, but you can't even be real with your own reflection in the mirror. How does that work? The self-esteem crisis among black women. And here is where it gets really sad. Why do so many black women feel like they have to do this? Who convinced them that their natural beauty wasn't enough? Why is it that most melanated women on the planet, the ones with the richest, most radiant skin tones, are the ones bleaching their skin and slapping on wigs to make from people in foreign countries who do not like them? People from China and India who hate black people. Some of these people die from AIDS and all kind of illnesses, and then it seeps right down into the skin, the largest organ on the body. But alas, don't blame me, because they're going to say that I'm a hater. I don't like black people. So to educate them, they'll hate you. Yeah, so why are the sisters, running around looking like knockoff Barbies when the real queen of history never need fake enhancement to be stunning? Meanwhile, the rest of the world is laughing. Asian women don't cover themselves with lace fronts. Latina women don't hide their real curls. But black women are out here spending their entire paycheck on hair they will never grow. And for what? To impress men who don't even know what they actually look like. The Nikki Black's example, beauty fades but the lie stays forever. Now, let's bring this back to Nicola Sophia Brown Modest. Do you think if she had embraced her real self, she would be where she is today? If she had focused on improving herself instead of relying on wigs, weaves and war paint, do you think she would be locked up in ICE detention center looking like a completely different person than she did on the streets? This is a lesson. Authenticity lasts. Lies don't. So ladies, listen. There's nothing wrong with makeup in moderation. A little glow up for special occasions, fine. enhancing what's really going on with you, enhancing what's already done, no problem. But when your entire look is a magic trick and you can't even recognize yourself in the mirror without the extra layer, you have gone too far. Men don't fall in love with makeup, they fall in love with the woman underneath it. And if you don't even love yourself enough to show the world the real you, don't be shocked when you can't find a man who truly loves you either. There are a lot of Nikki Blacks out there. You just have to start love yourself. Have yourself a beautiful day. And Squash, boy, you're getting close. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.